Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're in Nullsec, and I wanted to try out belt ratting. Belt ratting is something that I did when I started out playing EVE Online a very long time ago, and the reason I thought about doing this now was because I actually saw on the EVE Online Reddit a post a bit of a time ago where someone managed to find 2 officer spawns in one day. That is very rare because finding an officer spawn is like a kind of, you could say, an NPC that's better than a faction spawn. And what is meant by faction spawns, for you guys who don't know, it is like a type of NPC that has got a special name like True Sancha or Dread Garistas. They can drop modules that are very valuable, but they're also very rare. But then you've got another level that's even more rarer. There's even rarer than the faction spawns, which are the officer spawns, and they have a special name. So they can actually only be found, or I think they can only be found in belts, but I think they can majority be found in belts, but also on warp gates. I don't at all expect to find any. They're really hard to find. Some people say I've only seen one in my 10 years of EVE Online or something like that. But the main thing I actually wanted to test out here was I wanted to see what kind of ISK can you expect to do belt ratting, because I also saw that the bounty risk modifier in the system here is 200%. Now I might not want to do belt ratting here because there's it's like the home system of Brave I'm in, but there isn't anyone deadly here, so it could be a good idea to do it here. You can maybe get a lot of ISK, so I wanted to see what kind of income we can expect to get from that, because I remember doing belt ratting a long time ago, and I remember it not always being so fruitful. So I've got this belter here, belt cheap. I was thinking that I could alter this fit slightly. Or to have something out here with beam lasers, then I could maybe attack some small stuff, or maybe even a pulse laser. Say we have little frigates attack us in these sites, then we can get them. So let's buy this. Maybe we could add some ammo just in case we want to have some extra ammo. Buy this. Unfortunately, it's quite a bit more expensive here in Nullsec, just the way it is. Fit ships. And let's go. So I've added some hyperspatial velocity optimizers to this ship. It enables it to warp a bit faster. I think that's very good when it comes to the belt ratting, because you have to go from belt to belt a lot with a bit of speed. This will help a bit. Hyperspatial velocity optimizer these rigs here that increase warp speed. I've got basic armor repair to repair anything that's needed. The rats in belts, actually, they have a tendency to usually give a bit more bounties than they would otherwise do in anomalies, actually. In this case, this battleship didn't give a whole lot of bounty, but you will see that when you have the Garistas here, like that is worth maybe 1.2 million ISK bounty. In anomaly, it'll maybe give like 1 million ISK. And now what we can do here is actually just align to the next one. I'm not exactly sure how this payout works here with the ESS. I know that there's some kind of way where it gives a certain amount of ISK directly on some of that with his bank. I've never really learned how this system works here. You could put a good skin on. It's important to get a good skin on. You can sort by name, and then you know you don't go to you just go down the list here instead of doing distance changes all the time. I've got some modules here, drone navigation computers that allow my ship to go to travel a bit faster. I wonder what kind of risk you can expect here with the 200% bounty modifier. And also, considering the last time I did this, I was a bit of a big noob, so I'd only get like 1-2 million bounty ticks. Oh, whoa, that's so good. Oh, this guy seems to be quite stubborn here. Boom. Good. As soon as the Wasps land volleys, then goodbye, frigate. DPS 1, DPS 2, and DPS 3. So we got all the drones divided up there. Nothing here. Let's go to the one on the top here. And as far as I remember, it's always good to fully clear the belts, because then new NPCs are gonna spawn in. So you could just cherry pick battleships, but then it wouldn't be as much variety here, or they'll just get stuck there with the frigates. Okay, there we go. Got someone here. Garista's Dismantler. These guys are giving very low bounties, actually. 800k. I remember them giving more bounties. Does not at all particularly feel worth it. I feel like anomaly grinding is a much more profitable activity here. It could maybe that there's more bounty to be had in the ESS, maybe? Or you destroy these battleships really quickly with the Wasps. They're very lethal. could be good to actually go with a passive tank here, because the Ishtar has a really high amount of kinetic shield resistance, so you could just put a passive tank and have like full AFK style. Okay, drones come back here. Yeah, this doesn't seem at all like it's going to be particularly profitable. Maybe we could bring in that wreck there. See if he gives anything good, but I doubt it. Nothing of value, just 90k. Nothing here. Next one. Bunch of worthless cruisers. Yeah, sorry guys, this doesn't seem to be at all particularly worthwhile. I was just curious, what kind of ISK could we expect here? But we've just got like 2 measly battleships that give barely any bounty at all, like 800k, 900k. I may as well just been doing Project Discovery here, and I would have got better ISK. And if anything, like earns less than doing Project Discovery, then you know it's really bad, because this is something that anyone can do, and it's also something that requires very little risk because you're just sitting in the station. The Project Discovery benchmark is always a good one to go after. Split up those drones a little bit, maybe they don't need to travel as much. Sometimes you can occasionally get like Dread Garista spawns here, and that's going to make it worthwhile, but those are so rare that it's not really going to make up for it, in my opinion. I remember I was farming Sancha NPCs a long time ago in nullsec, not nullsec actually, lowsec, in the system of Seabot. It's a system that's quite close to Amar, and I was farming the belts for so long, and eventually I got a Sancha that had dropped 100 million ISK, like as true Sancha, the faction spawn. But the problem is that it just took so long to get that, so to me it didn't feel worth it, even though it was like, ooh, really satisfied to find it, but it didn't feel at all worth the time spent, just because of how rare it is. 2 battleships, okay, that's not so common to see. Another like a really bad 600k battleship. We're seeing a lot of bad battleships, but that one there, Garista's Eliminator, is good. These Dire Garistas, they are like a little bit more elite Garistas. They're not faction spawns, but they are a little bit trickier because they're like elite frigates. They have got more resist, so a bit faster, do more damage, have E-War as well that is a bit more potent. Okay, no, that was I thought that was a bounty tick, but that was just the Project Discovery tick. I guess you could do Project Discovery simultaneously while you're doing this, then you could earn quite a bit of ISK. Because that's actually something I did when I was ratting in lowsec in Amar space, the system of Seabot. I did that. I was ratting and doing Project Discovery at the same time. No, he's almost destroyed as well. He managed to get a jam on me just in time, so that I couldn't lock him up. Give this guy a bit of conflagration, he deserves a bit more DPS. More really bad battleships. It's ridiculous. What have they nerfed asteroids belt ratting? Because I'm getting very few battleships that are worth anything of significance here. These battleships do feel a bit easier than some other ones. There are other ones that are stronger than these. They go down pretty quickly, but still. Feels really strange. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get maybe, I don't know, 5 million ISK tick or something like that. Very little. Taking a bit of armor damage. We can always use armor repair. I trust a little armor repair. Our pulse laser is not really in range here. Easy. Ishtar is a pretty cool ship, but I feel like its appearance looks a little bit weird sometimes. But I think the overall visuals on it are pretty cool. I like the modern look on it, all the like the armor plates and that kind of stuff. The shape I'm not too big of a fan of. What is this? Main bank, 15 million ISK. Okay, that's got some ISK in it. I'm not sure what this means. Yeah, all these belts seem to be cleared now. There's nothing left. This is a lot of time wasted. It would be much better actually just to keep on going on at Garista's rally point or something like that. So as far as I understand, some of the bounties remain in this bank and then they're slowly paid out to other people. But at what rate, I do not know. I've never really familiarized myself with the system before. Seems like the whole belts of the system have been cleared. And I'm reading here that this reserve bank requires a special key that is very difficult to unlock. But like a small percentage of all my bounties go to this main bank, and then another even smaller percentage go to the reserve bank. Yeah, absolutely nothing is completely cleared here. Okay, so see here. 100% bounty modifier gives 120% immediate payout, okay, 5 million, and then 40% from the ESS then. Let's see here, because I saw that just increase. But 5 million bounty, that is pathetic. And we also have this 200% bounty modifier next. I remember I was getting like 9 million ticks a long time ago, and that was before this bounty risk modifier existed. So definitely not worth it. Maybe there's certain systems that are better, but I was thinking maybe you can find lots of good battleships that are worth a lot of bounties, but it doesn't seem at all like that's the case. Maybe the doing these ports and rally points would be a lot better, but it does not at all seem to be particularly good here. Sorry guys for it being a bit anticlimactic there, but that's just the way it is. The belt rating doesn't seem to be particularly worth it, but I may be wrong. If there are any circumstances where it is very valuable, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, it doesn't seem to be that great. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you at least learned something new. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.